Hi, welcome to Tasty Tuesday, brought to you by Transition Nutrition and Fitness Coaching. I'm Angie, and today we're going to be making a sliceable whole wheat bread that everyone will think you bought at the supermarket. There are 6 simple ingredients, and the key to this recipe, after lots of times of messing it up, is to weigh each ingredient to get just the right amount. I struggled for years to make a good bread. I killed the yeast. It wouldn't rise. It would turn out crumbly and not slice well. The perfect loaf, really, you have to measure your ingredients or weigh them. So let's get started. All right, I featured this bread in my last video with the corn potato chowder and had the bread on the plate next to it. And I promised you it would be the next video. So I've already weighed out 260 grams of whole wheat flour and 260 grams of whole wheat pastry flour. Now I like to use my little Ozeri scale, and it has grams, pounds, ounces, milliliters, and for this recipe you'll be using the grams and the milliliter setting both. These scales, which I'll link in the description below, are available on Amazon. They're less than $20, and I use mine all the time for different things, but especially when I'm making bread. So I have my 260 grams of whole wheat flour, 260 grams of whole wheat pastry flour. I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon of iodized salt, and that's only a ½ teaspoon for the whole loaf of bread, so I really don't worry about the sodium content. And 11 grams of instant yeast. And those are all of the dry ingredients. I get this Fast Rise, it's the Kroger brand instant yeast in a jar, and I just weigh out my 11 grams into a little bowl. You're gonna give these ingredients a good mix so that your yeast and your salt get fully mixed together with your flour. Now I'm gonna weigh out my water. I've already added 2 teaspoons of pure maple syrup to my glass jar. So when I set it on my scale, the 2 teaspoons isn't going to weigh in. I'm going to turn on my scale, and I'm just going to use hot tap water. You don't want boiling water because you'll kill your yeast. I found that my hot tap water is the perfect temperature for making this bread. So I've weighed out actually 480 milliliters of hot tap water into the maple syrup. It's just a hair over 2 cups, but like I said, once I started weighing all of the ingredients, my bread turned out perfect every time. So you're going to take the hot water and syrup and slowly stir it in to your dry ingredients. You don't want to knead this mixture. It's a no-knead bread. All you're going to do is stir it until it's all well combined. Make sure you've heated your oven to 390 degrees Fahrenheit, because we're going to sit our loaf of bread on top of that warm oven with a towel over it in order to let it rise for about 20 minutes. You can see the dough is coming together and almost completely mixed in. Want to make sure there's no little dry, powdery areas, that it's completely blended, because you don't want to hit a packet of raw flour in the middle of your loaf of bread. And now we're going to pour it in to a silicone loaf pan. I like this one because it has a sturdy ridge side to it. I had a different one before and it was very hard to keep it to hold together in the oven. So I like this one better. And we're just going to pour our dough, again, no kneading necessary, right into our silicone loaf pan. This makes such a good bread, and it really is. It slices very nicely for sandwiches. It goes well with soups. You could use it for anything that you would use. Toast, avocado toast in the morning. Anything that you would use regular bread for. Make sure we get all of that. I kind of level it out just because I like my loaves a little bit level. You don't want to stamp it on the counter because you want that air to stay inside your bread. Then we're going to cover it with a kitchen towel and set it on a cookie sheet to let it rise for 20 minutes. Now that we've let it rise for 20 minutes. You see the nice, beautiful top it gets on it, and we're ready to put it in the oven and bake it for 40 minutes at 390 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, now that our bread's out of the oven, you can see how nice and crisp it is on the top. I'm going to give it just a little bit of a, I'm going to use a towel and take it out of the silicone pan, which is much easier than a regular pan, and flip it over onto the cooling rack so you can see how lovely that loaf comes out. It looks just like an unsliced loaf of bread that you would get from your favorite bakery. I would let it cool for about 15 to 20 minutes before I try to slice it, and then we'll see what a slice looks like. There you go. As always, you want to make sure you use a serrated bread knife to cut your bread, but you can see how it makes a lovely sliced bread. You can use it with soup, make sandwiches, or any way you'd like. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your time. And if you enjoy these videos, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button because that really helps me out. And hit subscribe so that you're sure you don't miss a single recipe. Also, if you'd share it with your friends, I'd greatly appreciate it. As soon as we hit that 100 subscribers mark, I'm going to do a free giveaway. So, until next time, remember, plants are the best medicine.